Welcome to week 10, Bible Studies for Life. We're continuing the story of Joseph. We had our cliffhanger last week. Joseph was almost raped by Potiphar's wife, and he ran out of the room with no clothes. And what happens next? Well, we'll pick that up this week. Before we do that, be sure and like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And we're on YouTube and Rumble. You can like that, subscribe to either one or both, and comment on it, share with others as you go. All right, let's dive in here. We're in chapter 39 and 40 of Genesis, and we pick up here, and Joseph has been thrown in jail. All right, that's what happened because the wife accused him of rape. He got thrown in jail. Wasn't fair, wasn't right, wasn't true. But he didn't have any power. And we should not lose sight of the fact that those without power often suffer at the hands of those who do. That justice is often not meted out fairly, evenly, right? And it is a Christian's responsibility to speak against injustice that happens. And when we have a place and a platform, we should speak towards justice. And we should always call people to justice as well as living in it, right? But here's this great statement again. This phrase comes back, but the Lord was with Joseph and extended kindness to him. He granted him favor with the prison warden. The warden put all the prisoners who were in the prison under Joseph's authority, and he was responsible for everything that was done there. And the warden did not bother with anything under Joseph's authority because the Lord was with him, and the Lord made everything that he did successful. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? A little bit like what happened in Potiphar's house. The Lord is blessing him, and I love the fact that Joseph doesn't abandon the Lord because he doesn't look at it and go, well, this isn't fair, right? This isn't right. I mean, maybe he says that, but he doesn't say, therefore, since I'm not being treated fairly and I demand fairness from the Lord, I'm abandoning the Lord. He doesn't, right? He just asked the Lord to be with him. The Lord is with him all the time, with him, and extended kindness. And what a great statement. He's in jail, and it still says that the Lord extended kindness to him, granted him favor with the prison warden. And so the warden sees this, what's happening, right? And he puts everybody else. Joseph's running the jail. As a prisoner, he's running the jail, responsible for everything that was done there, right? And the warden didn't bother with anything while Joseph was there because the Lord was with him. And the Lord made everything that he did successful. We don't ever lose this. In the story of Joseph, don't ever lose this phrase, okay? This needs to stay very prominent with you. The Lord was with Joseph. And everything that happened, the Lord was always with him. And I would say that was true early in the story. We just didn't see Joseph responding the way that he should have. But we see that now, right? Okay, so Joseph goes to work. He keeps being responsible. He keeps doing the right thing. And he gets granted favor. Okay. Then, chapter 40, the king of Egypt's cupbearer and baker, who were confined in the prison, each had a dream. Both had a dream on the same night, and each dream had its own meaning. When Joseph came to them in the morning, he saw that they looked distraught. So these are two pretty important people. I mean, they're not powerful, but they're important people in the kingdom. The guy that cooks for the king and the guy that tastes the wine, the taster, the cupbearer for the king. These important positions, and they have both fallen out of favor and been thrown in jail, and then they've had dreams. And you can read in Genesis 40 to read about the dreams that they have, okay? But the dreams have puzzled them. They can't understand it, and it's really bothered them, right? And so when Joseph shows up the next morning, he saw that he could tell that they looked distraught. And quick thing here, Joseph was running to prison, but he saw the men there. He saw them. He didn't just see them as creatures in a jail. He saw them as men, and he saw the expressions on their faces and their body language, and he said, he could tell they looked distraught and worried. So he asked Pharaoh's officers who were in custody with him in his master's house, "Why do you look so sad today?" "We had dreams," they said to him, "but there's no one to interpret them." So this is their pagan belief that we have dreams and we have to have them interpreted. They believe that. There were people that had that gift, right? Well, Joseph says, "Don't interpretations belong to God? Tell me your dreams." Now, Joseph's had a dream in the past, right? And he interpreted it for his brothers, and it was true, but it didn't go well. But so he's had this experience, and I think it should be reasonable to say, shouldn't it, that wasn't the only dream that Joseph ever had, and that just because he dreamed didn't mean that it was a dream from God that required some interpretation that told something about his future. But there was something about that one that he had that impacted him in a way that he shared it and what it meant. And here these dreams have stood out to them, and they have bothered them, and they ask, they tell Joseph, they don't expect Joseph to be able to interpret their dreams. I want you to notice that he's saying, well, these dreams all belong to my God. He is saying something about his God. His God is the king of the universe, sovereign over all, right? So on the third day, what happens? He tells them, hey, look, your dream is in 3 days you're going to get to go back and you're going to be back in Pharaoh's court. And your dream means in 3 days you're going to die. Right? That's the interpretation. So on the third day, which is Pharaoh's birthday, he gave a feast for all of his servants, and he elevated the chief cupbearer and the chief baker among his servants. And Pharaoh restored the chief cupbearer to his position as cupbearer, and he placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. But Pharaoh hanged the chief baker, just as Joseph had explained to them. Yet the chief cupbearer did not remember Joseph. He forgot him. So they come in. They're extremely worried, right? Don't understand our dreams. Joseph says, tell me your dreams. Dream interpretations belong to God. They tell him his dream. Joseph interprets the dreams for him. He tells him, here's what's going to happen in 3 days. And it's funny because in the story, he tells the cupbearer, your dream means in 3 days, you're going to be back in Pharaoh's court serving him. And the chief baker is like that, so he tells him his dream. And he says, well, your dream means in 3 days, you're going to die. You're going to be hung. Wasn't encouraging to him. But then sure enough, in 3 days, Pharaoh's birthday, he has this feast, and he brings these guys out. And one of them he puts right back in his place of service, and the other one he hangs. Joseph was right. He got it exactly right. And the chief cupbearer knew that, right? He knew that. He knew not only had his been fulfilled, just as Joseph had said, but he knew the baker's had been fulfilled, just as Joseph had said. And the Joseph did not put a spin on his dreams to make them feel better. He just told what they meant, the truth of what they meant. But he did not remember Joseph. He forgot him. You think it was frustrating to Joseph? I mean, here he is doing everything he ought to be doing, and he's even helping these people that he doesn't have to help, but he's helping them, and they get help, and one of them gets to a place of some influence, certainly, and he's forgotten. He's forgotten. He's still in jail. When the story ends, he's still in jail. Oh, we're on to the next week. He's still there. How we deal with disappointment, and especially being treated unfairly, unjustly. We can go back here. The Lord was with Joseph and extended kindness to him in the midst of where he was. The kindness to Joseph was not getting him out. The kindness was allowing him to be who he was and serve as he served and be the man he was, right where he was. And that the Lord gave him a place of service, but he didn't take him out of the jail. He's still in the jail, even though the Lord was with him. He's still in the jail. He was still a slave, right? And the Lord was with him, but he was still a slave. And it would be easy at this point, I think, for Joseph to really get upset and think, not only has the cupbearer forgotten me, but maybe the Lord has too. But he doesn't. He doesn't do that. But I think it'd be easy to see how he could, right? So I want to encourage you. Don't forget. Don't forget. The Lord will not abandon you. The Lord will not abandon you. No matter how it may look, the Lord will not abandon you. Thanks for watching. Hope this has helped. God bless you. Thanks for subscribing to our channel. Like it. Share it with others. Be sure and comment. Let us know what God's teaching you out of all of this. All right. We'll be back with Joseph next week. See you then.